Croatian National News. One can only assume that China had a role to play in the invitation of the DPRK coming to the Security Council, possibly tomorrow. We're unsure of the time. If you are aware of the exact time, could you please let us know? And also, what is your response to the invitation, and is this a re-engagement of North Korea in the international community at the highest level?
This invitation is very welcomed by the delegation from China. We look forward to meeting with the North Korean delegate, and we expect that meeting to take place as soon as possible tomorrow morning.
Nigerian banker.
As China has a traditional, very strong relationship with Central African countries, how do the Chinese delegates feel about the conflict that's occurring there and the developments and what Gabon has so delicately said that they were willing to consider?
Well, you're right in saying that China has now had a long-standing relationship with many nations in Central and North Central Africa, and looks upon the developing crisis in Central Africa with a degree of trepidation, but also looks to play a productive role in the future, and hopes that tomorrow the Security Council will move on to discussing the situation in Sudan and the surrounding areas. And this delegation plans on providing constructive ideas for solutions to that.
People's Daily.
People's Daily. China has been commended as one of the only developing countries which is close to achieving its Millennium Development Goals. Does this mean that China is a country to follow? Or how does this affect its leadership?
Certainly China is a country to follow because by 2015 we'll likely have achieved all 8 of the Millennium Development Goals. We've also already achieved many of them. We've also been helping other developing nations achieve their own. So we are a leader, and we're definitely looking forward to working with other countries to make more progress there.
Zimbabwe Herald.
So while you said that you're committed to helping nations that are not quite as developed as you achieve their Millennium Goals, you are not in favor of extending it past the 2015 deadline. Just some of the nations who are not quite developed cannot meet those goals in this allotted time. So how do you plan to help those that cannot meet their goals?
We've actually been working in the UNDP with countries that maybe their opinions diverge on the deadline issue, and we've been working on working papers with them, and we're actually making a lot of progress there.
Any other questions? Yes, from Croatia.
Croatian National News. Does China support the extension of the deadline? I wasn't clear on your response.
We're considering it, but we're focusing on actual progress with the goals and not administrative goals.
Fox News.
China speaks about having met almost all of its Millennium Development goals, although there's been a chilling discovery of 17 baby girls in a suitcase in China. Fox News would like to know how that reflects their gender selection issues and how that would pertain to the Millennium Goals.
If you do look at China's record with the Millennium Development Goals, you're right. We've made substantial progress, remarkable progress. It's actually fantastic, and gender equality is a part of that. I could list the legislation for you that's been helping promote gender equality in China, but if you look at the actual record itself, you'll see that the central government has been fighting discrimination and been very successful so far.
Sir?
Nigerian Vanguard. Given a lot of Western countries' recent issues with Yemen and Nigeria as well, regarding embassy closures and things like that, how does China feel about the developments in Yemen, and have your relations with Yemen changed?
Chinese relations with Yemen have not changed in light of recent goings on there, in light of recent embassy closings. China follows a very strict foreign policy that is based on non-interference in domestic affairs, and we believe that what's going on in Yemen right now is largely a matter of domestic affairs.
Guardian, my apologies, China. I didn't hear the answer to the question that Fox News asked. How did 17 baby girls end up in those suitcases?
Well, obviously the government didn't do it, but if you look at China, China's population,
One can only hope the government of China did not put 17 babies.
the Chinese population itself, which is over 1 billion people, not 17, is very, very supportive of gender equality, and we've all been fighting gender discrimination together with the government hand in hand with the actual Chinese people.
Sir.
So you're saying that the population of China is not 17 people?
That would be correct.
Okay, thank you.
Ina, please.
Croatian National News. Given the reportedly fierce storming out of the American delegate during the World Health Organization session in apparent response to the position of the United Kingdom, and again reported disagreements between the United Kingdom and the United States of America within the Security Council, has the delegation from China seen any breakdown in this eternal bond?
I can only speak for the World Health Organization myself, but I've been able to work quite successfully with both delegates and look forward to working with them both in continuing sessions towards issues that affect us all, not just the relationship between the UK and the United States.
And in the Security Council, China has not observed any impediment of debate between the United States and the United Kingdom due to any kind of altercation between the two of them. It doesn't seem to have come up.
Final question of the evening goes to the Vanguard, please.
Speaking of sovereign domestic issues, how would the Chinese delegates like to reflect on the situation with the Uyghurs in China recently?
We do not have a comment on that. That's not being discussed here at this.
Thank you, People's Republic of China.